New year, new you, right? Or so they say. I've been asked a lot lately what my advice is as a doctor this year. So let's go into 2025 doing the thing. Happy New Year, butthole breathers. We start again. The calendar year is 2025. I'm adding too many 20s to it. I'm so excited to be here with you. And today I just want to share with you 3 simple things that I want you to keep in mind this new year. And we're going to start out with number 1 by actually being my favorite thing. And I feel like we're seeing all over Instagram, TikTok, everything of, hey, okay, change this, do this. It's so overwhelming. Like you can't even take it in. And sometimes even I'm in the healthcare field as a doctor. When you're scrolling, you're just like, whoa, this is too much. And I'm still doing so many things wrong. And then a lot of us go into that shutdown response of, okay, totally, we're not doing anything. We're just going to crawl back in bed and go to sleep, right? And then also, if you are changing drastically and you're motivated, well, are you changing so drastically that it's not something you can sustain? And that's really what I want to talk about. And number 1, start small. Once again, start small. This is technically, if you're paying attention to circadian rhythm and everything else, January 1st isn't the time to start new trends and traditions. In Eastern medicine, winter is a time to hibernate and restore and relax and recharge, not this time to just totally do 180 on your life and, change everything. And I know I talked about this last year at the start of a new year. So just as a reminder, if you're not feeling so motivated January 1, you're like, I'm cold. It is dark out. I can barely stay awake till 7 p.m. like me. That's okay. Be patient with yourself. And if you are like so motivated, that's great too. But just remember, if you don't start right now, it doesn't mean you won't start. And I would challenge you to start with something small that's sustainable, and you pick one thing. Maybe it's you want to do a 10-minute walk every day. That's going to be one of your new non-negotiables. Well, that's sustainable, and that's something that you're going to feel like you won. And once you start doing it 3-4 weeks, you're going to be like, oh, this is just part of my routine. And then add another small thing in. Sometimes with health, we're like, it's all or nothing. And that is so not true. Those little things can make a big difference overall in the long run. So maybe it's you want to change your diet. Well, why don't we eliminate the soda? Let's just start with one thing instead of doing all this crazy stuff. So I would love to know, put in the comments, like, what's the small thing you're going to do? Some other ideas that I've talked about with some of my patients and clients and some of the docs at the clinic. Some people want to incorporate strength training 2 to 3 days a week, only 15 to 20 minutes. Once again, this doesn't have to completely alter your life. Other people are starting to use blue light blocking glasses right when it gets dark out at night, which is wonderful. I have another client who really wants to incorporate more protein and just do a protein anti-inflammatory, just more of a lifestyle, something sustainable, meat and vegetable, eggs and bacon at breakfast. Instead of they're eating a lot of sweets right now and a lot of heavy carbs and they just don't feel good. They're having brain fog. I have, one of my personal ones is to give myself 5 minutes a day instead of calling it meditation, because for some reason I have such a hang up with that. And I just am like, I'm so bad at it. I can't. And I had one of my coaches challenge me. They're like, why don't you just call it 5 minutes a day to yourself and just take yourself to a place like a happy, relaxing place, the beach, the lake, the rainforest, and just be there. And you owe it to yourself for 5 minutes a day. And I would challenge you. You owe it to yourself for 5 minutes a day. Do it with me. And because if you're not, if you don't have 5 minutes a day to yourself, I question your worthiness, your motivation, all the things, right? And this is the challenge to myself too. Why can't you give yourself 5 minutes a day? So let's give ourselves 5 minutes a day. And that could be, you could have a different 5 minutes a day. You could have a walk. You could do, something from de-stress in 20. You could do some squats. You could take a bath, whatever. I would just love to hear in the comments what you're going to do that's going to be small and what we're going to do together so we can keep each other accountable. You can also message me on Instagram, which, speaking of, before we get to number 2, I want to thank you all. I feel like we have a bunch of new listeners because I got this influx on my DMs on the Instaface and of people introducing themselves, reaching out, saying how much this podcast is helping them. And I'm going to cry just talking about it. But I'm so grateful and thank you. And thank you for taking the time because I read all those messages. It's me replying, not a robot. So thank you. And let me know what you want to hear about. And speaking of that, if you've been binging the podcast or you know me, charity is really important. My husband and I have this dream that we want to start our own foundation or charity. Eventually, we're just not sure exactly what, but it's on our hearts and we want to do that. But until then, it's part of the practice, the clinic. We give back, whether it's our time or financially. And I was a candy striper way back in high school. So it's been something really important to me. And I just wanted to bring that to you guys. You guys are my listeners. Like, let's do this together. Let's help each other. This is what this podcast is about too. It's yes, giving you information and healing you, mind, body, all of it, spirit, but then also healing each other and giving to each other. And kindness is what makes the world go round. So let's do this. If you're a podcast Apple listener, tap the 5 stars and write a 5-star review and put your Instagram or TikTok handle in it and put what charity you are passionate about or would like to give money to. Because for every 5-star written review, I'm going to donate $10. And we're going to do this challenge at the beginning of this year. So please get your friends and family. The more reviews, the more money is going to go to charity. And I want to give this to you guys. Like, what are you guys passionate about listening? And we're going to sift through, me and my team, of all what you guys say and pick a charity to donate to. This is up to you guys. So once again, we're going to go for Apple first. If you're a podcast Apple listener, tap the 5 stars, write a written review, put your Instagram or TikTok handle in, and the charity you're passionate about. Now, Spotify, we all know you can't write a written review. Tap the 5 stars and share it on your Instagram stories and tag me at Dr. Audra Lance and put what charity you're passionate in, maybe in the story, or DM me. So if you're on Spotify, tap the 5 stars, share the episode or the podcast, whatever, in your Instagram stories, tag me, and put what charity you're passionate about. So we got 2 ways to do it, and I'm so excited to see how much money we were going to raise. So for every review, $10 is going to a charity, and we're all going to pick the charity together. Oh, I'm so excited just for that. Like, share this podcast with people to get them in on this. Like, $10, one review at a time can change the world, right? And I'm so excited for this. So let's move on to Dr. Audra's New Year's advice. Number 2, how you do the little things is how you're going to do everything. And those little things add up to the big stuff. I can't tell you how important this is and how much of a difference it will make in your life. It is everything, in my opinion. I have had this conversation with my professional athletes, with my celebrities, my singers, my CEOs, people who are quote unquote super successful. And all of us agree it is the little things that add up to the big things. So for instance, I was down in Florida traveling and I finished my strength training workout and I got the cleaner and cleaned the mat. And this lady said, she goes, wow, you don't see people doing that anymore. And I wiped down where I held the weights. And it's just finish the workout, which means clean up after yourself. Finish the movements. I did De-Stress in 20, which is on sale right now if you want it to be in the new year and getting moving. All the game plans are, let's be honest. We're going to just give it all on sale. So if you want to have a new movement plan to relax, to activate everything, De-Stress in 20. If you have carpal tunnel, elbow pain, neck pain, the carpal tunnel game plan. If you have low back pain, hip pain, hamstring tightness, calf tightness, you're going to want the sciatic game plan. If you're struggling with any kind of foot pain that everyone likes to group it as plantar fasciitis, we got a plantar fasciitis game plan. And those, for my listeners, I know a lot of you have purchased some of those, have been game changing. And if that doesn't work, schedule with the clinic a virtual appointment or in person if you're in Nashville, or we have people fly to Nashville. There are so many options and we're here to help you. But how you do the little things is how you're going to do everything. I am recording this on Christmas because I'm going to be out of town when this comes out. It is Christmas Day and I'm here recording that because to how you do the little things. I committed to this. This is fun for me. This is not work. This is what I'm passionate about. yeah, I am giving up part of my Christmas day to do this, but it's the little things. And these what add up and what you don't see behind the scenes of people being successful. And that is also if you've had surgery, if you're in pain, if you have an illness, you have a disease, it's the little things done consistently that add up to the big things. It is doing your freaking press ups every 2 hours for a while and getting that movement under control and allowing your body to heal itself. Our bodies want to heal itself ourselves. Remember, whatever that may be, it's the little things that turn into the big things. And they're usually the boring things and the things you don't want to do. And that's what's going to make a world of difference in your pain and your how you even view the world, in your peace and your presence of being more present. So a lot of these things that we want, we like to break it down in your game plan of, okay, what are these little things that are going to help us obtain this big goal? And it's just simple things every day. So back to one, start small, incorporating something small in your life. And then just realize it's these little things that add up to the big things. It's doing the little things to lose the weight. It's doing the little exercises or breathing to help get that pain go away. It's incorporating, care and treatment as a team to help you get over that diagnosis, that scary diagnosis. It is the little things. I cannot say that enough. And third, live in gratitude. That neurologically changes your brain and is going to change a lot of these outcomes in your life. I've done this, and especially something I focused on in this past year. I had a lot of stuff to be grateful for, but there were also a lot of challenging times. But really, when something is hard or you're in pain, what is this trying to teach you? What lesson do you need to either learn or relearn? Because sometimes we got to, learn something more than once of what do you need to change? What do you need to incorporate? What does your body not like? One of my NFL players got hurt this season, and we were doing our virtual appointments, and he's like, Audra, I've never been on the sidelines, that I didn't want to sit. And he goes, and so we start getting into some of these conversations. I was like, okay, so I challenge you. What is this injury teaching you? Why do you think you got injured right now? And they took a lot of time to think about it. And the next day we scheduled, another call, and they're like, Audra, I have never been on the sidelines listening to the headphones of how the coaches are calling things. And I was able to do that, and they're a captain. And I was able to see a whole nother perspective. I've only been on the field and had the player's perspective, but now having that call. And then they're like, oh, I needed to change this in my routine, this movement pattern. I needed to actually do one of the activation things that you tell me to do, and just changing up my routine. And he goes, I'm so grateful. Actually, I got injured. And I said, yes, this is always a learning experience. So if you're in pain right now, there is a lesson in it. There is something you can learn and be grateful for, or maybe it's bringing you, to a present moment of, hey, you're alive, you're feeling this pain, which is good than better than the alternative, right? So really, it's easy to be grateful when things are going good. It's harder to keep that mindset when you're having a really tough day and have a headache and feel really shitty, or something bad happened at work, or, one of your kids is just not as off the rails. If you and your partner get in a fight, you and a friend get in a fight, when there's traffic, all the things, it's not easy. It's easier for me to, it kind of sounds like fairy dust right now, right? But I challenge you in those moments, breathe it out, be mad. I'm not perfect. No one is. And be really reframe it. What is this trying to teach me? How can I learn from this? How can I be better? How is this helping me? And be grateful. So I would love also in the comments, or message me on Instagram. I love all you guys reaching out. Like I said, what's something you're grateful for today, right now, as you're listening to this? I'm super grateful that we're coming up on 2 years of this podcast, and how many thousands of people are listening, and we're able to help. Like I said before, thank you guys. It's over 52 countries, and we're in the top 10% of all podcasts. I can't even believe I'm saying that. Pinch me. I'm so grateful. And it's because of you guys, and it's because you're sharing it. You're doing the reviews. You're coming back and hanging out every week. I just can't thank you enough. This is so fun, and it's so fulfilling for me to be able to help you. So we're wrapping it all up. What is my advice for the new year? Start small. How you do the little things is how you do everything that makes the big things, and live in gratitude. And write a review so we can donate $10 more to a charity of your choice. Thanks again. Please like and share this with someone that you're like, hey, we just need these simple reminders in 2025, because that's how you set yourself up for happiness, love, success, all the things. And I'm so excited to be here with you, cheering you on. Toodaloo.